Hello everybody and welcome to Sunday League X Round 4 here at the very historic, very famous Spa-Francorchamps circuit. So I'm joined by Mr. Leviosa today. Levy, say hi.
Hello, guys.
Woo! And yeah, this is the qualifying session just on lap 1 of 3 on the longest lap we've had in Sunday League since Season 5, Round 6 at the Nordschleife. It is also numerically the least number of laps ever in a Sunday League race. The fans sitting down at turn 1 and the main straight will only see the cars go by 35 times. Just 35 laps here today. I'll run you through the team's standings just quickly here. We've got Leviosa Sports Arts leading the way on 128, Mayhem on 115, FGR 114, right behind them RMC 103 and NTH 91. So you've got sort of 4 or 5 teams clutching on to within about 25 points of the championship lead. Then you've got Volpe, Yorka and Float Force locked together in the battle for 6th at the moment. Lynx Racing a ways down, but they're recovering up the order with help from Nuno, the four-time world champion. Scuderia Paracaro once again using a reserve today. Spuder again not able to race. He's yet to make his debut for the team due to technical issues discovered in the car earlier. We have Martin Dries coming in to race instead. Look at the driver standings. Rito has a healthy lead of 92 points to 82. Danimator in 3rd. Hernandi drops down to 4th after finishing 10th last race. And Nomskar in 5th. Nearly at the end of the qualifying session here. We'll see how the drivers will line up on the grid for 35 laps of Spa. The first drivers have finished. How will the grid order look for the Belgian Grand Prix in Sunday League X? Rito takes pole position. Nuno will line up alongside him on the front row. Nomskar starts in 3rd place. Gamer starts alongside him on the 2nd row. Pamushus with a high 5th place in qualifying for him. He's ahead of Danimator, who'll start 6th. Anti starts in 7th place with Sexy Digger in 8th place. Julo just behind him. He's in 9th. Really good performance there from the RMC driver. Truly will start in 10th. Lower down the order, Grandi starts in 11th place. Razim right behind him in 12th. Jiruni in 13th and Kubo in 14th. Hanandi 15th place. That's a big bottle of a qualifying for him. He'll have to recover quite far to get up to the fighting Class A pack. Urist 16th. Kado in 17th place. And Andres in for Spuder today in 18th position. Levy, your thoughts on that qualifying session?
Bizarre for us, with Hernandez starting in 15th, which I'm not very happy about it. Meanwhile, Truly is in his normal positions. I don't mind that.
10-15 for LSA is not great, but what about the other teams? There are 8 other teams on the grid. Surely you must have noticed something about another one, maybe?
Sexy Digger really impressed me with his performance. And
Good from FGR as well.
Yep, Reto on pole and Nuno, the former, actually they're former family teammates, so they will have to battle with each other now since Nuno is in different team.
They certainly
Pamushus
will.
with his best qualifying performance this season, I believe.
Good to know. Thank you, Goose. He's DJ Goose on the stats tonight, while I don't have access to them. Yeah, well, we're nearly ready to get going. What's the hold up at the moment? I'll pop up the Steam standings for you to have another little gander at. Any more here? Or are we good to go? Let's go for it. Oh,
Everyone
10%
except
rain.
Mark with 0.87 seconds of qualifying as well.
Blimey. Yeah, it's a
Such a
tough
large-
track. Go
For
on,
such
Goose.
a large track, that's an incredibly tight qualifying pack.
Rain.
We've got a little hold up as our 4-time champion Nuno is just currently using the toilet. He'll be back and he'll put on some more spray down for us in the form of 10%. Sorry, that was totally grim. In the form of 10% rain that we'll have throughout the duration of the race. Jesus, he's taking a long time. The piss-
Excellent. Rubber bands.
Nuno is not taking a long time. He just saw a crazy bomb drop there.
He did. Right, what else is there to talk about? CL earlier. Resurgent driver Skip came out of retirement to finish 3rd and 5th, respectively. What did you think of his performances, Lev?
Nice performances. He did really, really well. Can't say really anything because I didn't see him directly in my mirrors, but
That's not true. That's not true.
He did really good, nevertheless.
He really did. Well done, you, Levy, as well. You did absolutely fantastically. We're nearly ready to get underway here in Belgium, and not just for 2 laps behind the safety car in 4 hours of rain, but for actual proper racing here at Spa-Francorchamps. All 18 drivers line up on the grid right in front of you. 5 lights ahead of them. We're underway. Rito types something right before the race start. He bonks the wall. Going into turn 1, that allows Nuno into the race lead. Watch the drivers behind. The run down the Kemmel straight into Lecombe will be absolutely crucial for these drivers. Gamer tucks into 3rd. Pamushis is up into 4th. He's taking that spot off Nomskar. Gamer into 2nd place already. Rito there as well in 3rd. Is there any chaos in the background? Truly goes wide, but it's been a relatively clean start. We've got a train in the background. The FGRs go side by side. Surely this will end in tears. Nuno drops down to 3rd. Pimu takes a bit of gravel. Gets undertaken by Antti and Noms. They rush towards the bus stop. Chicane 5 abreast they go. Oh, big errors. Pamushas dragged well back there. Truly jumps up, as does Antti, in a big lag rocket in the background as well. Rosine worst off there. I think Julo might have been involved, and he's in another one. Him and Sexy Digger into the wall, and these promising top 10 drivers now down in the last positions. Antti taken off by Truly, who's up into 3rd now. Nuno in 4th. Truly and Danimator side by side. They go through Puon, and Truly keeps his foot flat to the floor and takes that position there. Nuno side by side with Antti. He's ahead of the Finn and Rito now. Pimu backs up this front 7 pack. Down we've got Jaruni and Grandi. Any chicanery through the chicane? None to report of so far. Truly in 2nd place. Trails Gamer, who leads us away. Levy.
Bizarre start, and I even managed to caught well, I did caught Nomskar and Hnandi crash going to the corners after Kamel Straight, and it was quite a bizarre thing, but now they're both chasing down Michtandris, so will be interesting to see how they will perform. Kado and Kubo crashed in the meanwhile. Not really crashed, but the Kado shaved off Kubo.
Got a massive scrap for the lead. It looked like Danny would take it off Gamer. Truly went through. Nuno had to go. Rito pushed to the inside there. We've got a hugely hectic thing. Nuno stamps on the brake while having the slipstream. He's advised other drivers to do that. Not worked out too well for him. He backs up the pack massively, but he does get back in position. Gamer takes him wide into the wall. He won't be happy about that at all. They're down. Andy takes grass, and him and Gamer fall down and down. Rito makes a mistake. Gamer wide. Onto the gravel there. Jaruni breezes through, as does Eurus nearly. Gamer goes from 1st to 10th in a single lap. Danny through. We've got a lot of drivers in after lap 4 on these tyres. And we've got the background here. We've got Nomskar down in 10th place now, despite the 4 drivers pitting. That's 14th on track before that little skirmish. Grandi up into a nice high 5th place at the moment. Eurus is a driver to watch out for, as Grandi and Gamer onto the gravel. He's had a really unlucky last couple laps. Eurus is up into 4th position. Pamushas in 3rd. Danimator following Truly at the moment. This is a very high position for Eurus and Rozim and Grandi to all be running in. Eurus on the mediums has a huge advantage here. Just needs to keep drivers behind him. Grandi peels into the pits. You might have advised Rozim or Gamer to do the same.
We're gonna have a rain!
Oh, we will! And all those who pitted earlier absolutely waste away. Nuno in 10th. Antti in 11th. All absolutely awestruck by the sudden downpour here at Spa. You can never rely on the weather, and those drivers who pitted for the slick tyres, being Antti and Grandi and Jaruni, and most importantly Nuno, are all well down the order. Clouds are coming back. Anyone who's pitted for the wets will have a tricky situation on their hands. Gamer and Danny and Truly all go in. Eurus will stay out. This is what we want to see. Somebody take that gamble, truly pits onto slicks, as do Gamer and Danny. That's really interesting. What is an advisable strategy, and a very, very high level one, is pitting while it's raining for new slicks, because if you think this through, you won't lose any grip in the pit lane. There is a pit limiter on you, so if you waste your 9 seconds, it's sort of similar to having a virtual safety car or something of the sort. Eurus, who did lead, now gets passed by Danny, puts up a bit of a fight for Gamer, who drops a little bit back, but truly is leading this race. He hasn't won since Season 1, Round 6, the finale in Russia at the Sochi Autodrome, which we visit later this season. He's come back from a huge 8-9 season sabbatical, and he's back here racing for LSA under his different name, Sobel. He's only won 2 races, Zandvoort and Monza, in seasons 5 and 4 respectively. He leads the way here today in Spa. Levy.
Well, that will be interesting for the stats to see. Was it yours to lead the lap, or was it truly in the end? Because I'm sure that it will be in the discussion, and we're seeing weather marker move, and Pemusha's shaved off Eurus. I think
Eurus just
weather
going
marker
backwards
moves.
on these tyres. You're right, weather marker is moving. We're going to get some clouds at the moment. Eurus does finally go into the pit lane. What was looking like a great position for him, I think he's just stretched it way, way too long. He should have pitted when there was rain. I mean, you're losing out to a soft stint, but look, now he's down behind drivers like Andries, who did pit for the wets. I mean, he is on much fresher tyres. He battles with Hernandi there for 14th and 13th place, it looks like. Hernandi nowhere near where he wants to be. Probably one of the most inconsistent drivers in the sport. First some races, last others. Eurus makes a big mistake. Hernandi's going to come back, and this is a very messy fight, isn't it? Not much fighting going out in the lead at the moment. Sexy Digger down in 15th. Rito in 16th. Holy cow. He must have recently... Oh my god, he's down in 16th place. I totally missed that. Rito is in 16th. He started on pole position, and now he needs to climb back through the field. Julo and Kubo, the Poles, the bottom 3 are all the Polish drivers on the grid. Jaruni and Sexy Digger going side by side. We'll have a look back at the battle for 4th, as it looks like it's heating up. Nuno and Anti, softs and mediums respectively. We get a little lag storm. Let's hope this clears itself up. We haven't had too many of those. Anti lost a lot of time, probably just through the flying car of Nuno. Noms has recovered outstandingly up to 6th place. Anti will pit this lap. Noms stays out a little bit longer. Those mediums give him a good bit of tyre life. Nuno and Anti have recovered nicely enough from that early setback of all the chaos that came with the stops, but you can just sort of... they were then saved by the fact that they didn't have to pit for wet compounds with the clouds immediately coming back. Those who did, people like Rito, have made 3 stops, and it's down, well down the order, now up into 14th place. That's a really big issue for them. Caddo and Andries going side by side here. This is for 10th. Andries stepping in for SCP today. Caddo for VEO, their main driver for the season. They go through Blanchimont down into the bus stop chicane. Will Caddo try and move? They're on the same age, same compound of tyre. Razim and Grandi, former VEO teammates, pile into the pit lane now as well. Caddo and Andries just take a little bit of grass on the exit of turn 1, that barrier to prevent you from wall riding. Pimushas and Nuno, 5th and 6th. We don't see them battle often. Most famously, they did in Estoril in Season 7, where they fought over the lead of the race. Pimushas coming just within a couple of seconds of taking it off the home hero, who otherwise had a very dominant season. Pimu 2nd in the Drivers' Championship that time. It looks like we have pitters again. We have Danimator on the softs, and we've got Gamer leading the way. Levy, what have you spotted so far?
The famous ass of Hnandi, and he's on his famous ass too, and he is probably battling with Anti, if not just slipstreaming, as that's what famous ass means. Weather marker moved, but there are no real signs of rain yet. We're gonna have sun again, so...
So Rita got a penalty trying to get past Eurus there. They went side by side into Lecom, which I would never officially advise, but it is quite entertaining. And it's just an issue for oh my god, Jaruni is lagging quite a substantial amount. Rito took Eurus onto the grass. There we go, 3 wide into the bus stop. Jaruni breaks very late and lags his way around Eurus, who does have to keep driving there. This is not properly raceable, I'm afraid. But still, Nuno chasing down Danamotor. It's been a hectic start, so we'll run you through the tyres. Gamer's on very old mediums. He should be in this lap. Truly on good condition softs. Danny and Nuno also on the softs. Nuno with the earlier setback, of course, with the rainy conditions, not pitting quite when he would have wanted to. Well, no, I suppose that's not exactly right, but still. The drivers who were able to come in while it was raining didn't have to lose that time out on the track. They got the advantage. Danny has fresher softs than Nuno. Nuno just sitting in his slipstream. Game will come out into 4th place behind Danny and Truly and Nuno. 5th place for Nomskar, who has climbed back up quite nicely after being down in 10th place in the opening laps. It's a very crashy circuit if you're with a lot of people. Talking of a lot of people, look at the Kemmel at the moment. Pamushis is just pitted down to 11th place. He's having to negotiate with the sister team drivers. I can hear him on the radio. They race me so hard, he's saying. Well, they shouldn't be. They should be getting the hell out of the way. Eurus and Rozim, as we see Pimu just forced wide there by Kado. Maybe not. I think he might have just taken a slight wide line, but very nearly had a brief dance with the gravel trap there. Jeru will go into the pits, and Pimu will just stick behind Kado for the time being. Can he go to the outside of turn 1? No, he can't quite manage it. Cut back inside. Kado is really fighting this. He's on the much older, not quite sort of worn yet, but significantly older still, soft tyre. Pimu on the hard. He just doesn't think with, to be fair, there being a lot of straights in Belgium, that that's a viable option to let Pimu through. Pimu is fighting, he's banging at the door, he's trying to get back into the top 5 where he started, where he's run for a lot of the race so far. Nuno into the pits, knowing his luck will get more rain right now as he pits on to some fresh softs. Gamer on the mediums. Levy, what is our current chance of rain if you had to estimate it?
I think it would be around 21% because there are some clouds coming, but you know, wind can change every time, so they are either coming to us or they're just coming somewhere elsewhere.
They might be. Rito's made the most stops so far. He's done 4 as we reach the halfway point in this race, which has been led predominantly by Truly, looking for his 2nd win of his career, his 4th win under all of his various names, that being 2, really. The LSA team would go absolutely wild. They haven't won in the last 10 races before this one. Their last victory coming... Sorry, that's not true at all. They took a 1-2 in Hungary, my mistake. They won last season, though, at the hands of Hernandi in Greece. His first ever win. The team's first win in a little bit since Bahrain Season 8. So good for them. Truly comes into the pit lane now. That healthy 3-second gap will whoosh away, but Danny is in behind him. Gamer is going on the, I sort of say, alternate strategy. Not hugely, but he's on the mediums. They're significantly older, and he's, well, I mean, it is actually an alternate strategy. I don't know what I'm talking about there. He's on the mediums. They're sort of halfway through their current wear span at the moment, and he's just going to look to put in some good lap times and would really benefit from a spot of rain. As we see that, Levy, what's happening to that weather marker?
It's moving! It's moving!
It certainly is. Truly catching up to the back of Gamer under different names. Well, they fought in Season 1. In fact, I think they finished 1-2 in Russia, if not maybe 1-3. Gamer was on the podium. Truly won it under his name of Sobelli. They were teammates for multiple seasons, all in the big LSA family until Season 7, I believe. But they've fought on track quite a lot since then, over the sort of high positions, the podium contention, if you will. Gamer usually getting the upper hand, but there's no bad blood between these two. However, when it comes to the race lead, with Truly on fresher softs, Gamer might have to move away for this one. This isn't going to be his battle to fight just yet. He needs to win it on strategy. He backs out, and he's going to look to just stay within Truly's slipstream. Gamer sat on the podium just a couple races ago, of course, in Bielorussia. Not managing to win that just by probably the smallest margin we've ever seen in Sunday League, under a 1/10 of a second. Rito with the superior traction out of the final corner got the position. Gamer is going to fall into the clutches of Nuno pretty soon, but actually I think their tyres are going to run out at about the same time, because Nuno's are only a little bit fresher They are soft.
We're gonna have a rain!
We are, and that's just broken everyone's eardrums. This is going to help Gamer out. He's not been caught by Nuno yet. It's fine, mate, don't worry. He's not been caught by Nuno yet. We're going to have heavy rain, which, unless the clouds are literally about to come right now, will stick around for a good while to come. Nuno slides down to one of that final pit boxes, and it's now a truly Gamer 1-2. Nuno in third and Danimator in fourth. The wets last around 9 or so laps here before you start getting some significant wear. You can take them 10 or 11, but they'll be pretty toasty by the end, you'd think. Rain stints can last quite a long time. They are time-based, not lap-based, of course, because we do have, well, Danny's last lap being a 45-second one is about all you need to know. Interestingly enough, Kubo is the last driver to pit in. He is down in last place. We focused a lot on the front few so far. Danny having lost contact, all the rest within a second of each other. We'll come back to them when they do start scrapping it out. But for now, Nomskar running best of the rest in 5th place. Promucius, not a bad at all in 6th. He is the lead FGR with Rito well down the order, having taken 6 stops. Unbelievable. He must have just pitted before that rain period. He's got the pole of Julo right behind him. He had the pole position at the start of lap 1. He's not got the race lead anymore. Hernandi and Rosim. Hernandi notably as well outside the top 10. The VEOs hanging in the back of the top 10 as they have been for many, many a race. They've got a really nice lineup. Levy, I'll hand over to you just for the moment.
So we can see that Truly is still leading, Gamer in second, and Gamer is chasing up by little margins to Truly. Nuno is in third and quite far away from Gamer. Dynamite in fourth, far away from Nuno. Nomskar in far fifth, and Pimushis in far sixth.
They all are. We have 11 laps left here at the end of this lap in Spa, 16 minutes into the race. And yeah, we'll give you a little midfield rundown if we can. Nomskar 5th, as you rightfully said. Pamucius, Grandy. So the NTHs running 7th and 8th. Obviously, all strategy gets wiped clean. The rain washes it away as soon as you get a heavy amount of clouds coming over. So no particular strategy to be mentioning at the moment. But the amount of pit stops is really crucial because that's who the rain has favoured, such as somebody like Gamer running in 2nd place and looking right down the barrel of the race win if he can get within that slipstream, which tends to be about, hard to define, about 0.4 of a second is when you start going to feel that effect. Nuno behind him, very evenly spaced, about a second between all of them, or just under. Danny trying to claw his way back, no particular battling high up the order. We'll look at the VEOs, Hernandi and Rosim, 2 pretty experienced drivers, not of course relative to the big dogs, but somewhat at least. Levy, what have you seen?
I think Julo retired.
Oh no, that's a huge shame. Oh dear, I believe that might be his first career retirement. Maybe a disconnect, or not quite sure what's happened there. Might have just run out of battery, shut the laptop off. We'll have to find out if that was hardware or connection. But meanwhile, his teammate, not all lost for the RMC team, because Gamer is closing that gap down to Truly. It stands at 0.6. Eurus is not happy with something, so we'll pamper to that in a moment. But Gamer is very, very close to Truly now. 4.5. He's just outside that precious 0.4 of a second that you need for the slipstream. Has he got it? Coming down the Kemmel straight, 0.5. Agonizingly close. A good way to see it. The rain is a great visualizer, because if you're within the spray that's kicked up off the back wheels of the car ahead, you will be within that slipstream range. Gamer just needs to put in some really good corners, and he will be dragged into the slipstream of a Mr. J. Truly, who has led this race basically for all of the first 27 laps. But Gamer will be making an attempt here. Truly moves to one side. That's a very interesting strategy. He trusts that Gamer has the better pace. Their main goal, not to be tackled by Nuno, who is a very fast driver, as we know, but hasn't had the clear pace advantage thus far over these front 2. Truly is going to just stay behind Gamer, and like he was intending to in Hungary probably, launch an attack in the final laps. It's an interesting situation, slipstream someone, especially in a situation this important, because if Gamer makes mistakes, Truly can try and overtake, but battling will lose them time. So what they might want to do invert position, something along those lines. He has to have full confidence that Gamer is lapping faster than Nuno. Trulli goes for the undercut. Nuno goes for it too. That's very interesting. This is the longest lap of the season. So, Gamer will maybe struggle to find any grip on those wets as you come through the very grip-dependent final sector. Slow for these drivers though. Nuno overtaken by Nomskar. The track is drying. The sun is out. Where is Gamer? He is approaching Puon right now and will exit the corner and enter the chicanes as his tyres just run out of grip. Will the deficit in pace swing back into his favour? Remember, we've got one stint to the end. Trulli and Nuno took the mediums. Gamer might opt for the softs if he thinks he can take those 6 laps. He'll get a massive advantage on the straights, but might lose life at the very end. He does take the softs, and how did he fare relative to Trulli and Nuno as they come through turn 1? He will be neck and neck with and just behind Nuno, but with those softs, able to come back within the slipstream range. Trulli leads the race. Nuno is a fantastic driver, but you cannot count out Gamer. Nuno might want to move to one side here and let Gamer through. He slows both of them down. He finally does move to the sides, but he takes a line that was just too narrow into that hairpin corner, and that has cost the both of them quite a lot of time. 2 seconds now is the gap to Trulli out in the lead, who is looking for, may I remind you, his second race win of his career. His team is leading the Drivers' Championship, and Gamer has just 5 laps to claw this back, take his first win in what would be probably 12 or 13 races since Munich last season, round 2, where he took the only win of his championship winning campaign. He so nearly took it in Poland just a couple races ago. He has the opportunity now to take it off Trulli if he can put in some fast lap times. Nuno, more than ever, is an enthusiast for slipstreaming. He has to have the confidence that Gamer will be able to take him forward here compared to Trulli's older, harder tyres. Gamer needs to put in some vital lap times. Nuno will re-overtake. Really interesting. Gamer and Nuno scrapping it out at the exit of turn 1. Nuno does back off eventually. That's his little hurry up, we need to catch him signal as they come down the Kemmel straight for the 4th to last time in the Grand Prix. Trulli still leads the way while these guys are scrapping it out. Not really, just sort of trying to catch up. We'll have a little look. Danimator holds 4th and Nomskar 5th. Pamusha 6th. Grandi and Anti 7th and 8th. Not much change there. The NTHs will be cooperating with each other as much as possible to get a good result. Gamer knows he can probably settle for a very nice podium today, but the real question, can he get the win? The gap is 9 tenths. It said 3 tenths on the Delta screen on the last update. That's not quite correct. It's grown. Hadn't had a good experience down the start-finish straight. He has lost time to Trulli, who is just keeping it still on these mediums. Gamer's softs, if you look at the wear indicator, for the moment, is still fresher than the mediums, just about, but Nuno's tyres will start to come into effect. Remember, just because the softs are more worn doesn't mean they're necessarily slower. You still get the straight line speed advantage, even with less grip than the medium compound of tyre. So lots to take into consideration. The gap not really shrinking. Nuno probably wouldn't be able to do all that much more in terms of closing it down. Trulli will have a very, very nervy final 2 laps here just to see if he can hold on, if he can take a race win that he has been wanting for such a long time. A little lag storm there. The top 3 seem largely unaffected. Gamer, though, has closed the gap again. Just 8 tenths last time we looked at it. 7.5 now. 1 lap left. He desperately needs to make up time. And Sexy Digger, with just 1 lap of racing to go, will DNF this Spa race. It's broken, he's saying, as his car parks up. Nuno wide into the barrier. He's launching his attack at Gamer now. He doesn't believe that they'll be able to catch Trulli. Trulli will be smiling inside that cockpit because he knows he has just a few miles left to navigate before he gets the race win he's been waiting so long for. Gamer has the softs. Nuno has the better conditioned mediums. Gamer will have the slipstream all the way down to the bus stop if he can keep it clean, but he doesn't. He needs to have the slipstream now, but neither of them will have the slipstream of J. Trulli, who after so many races will come across the line and win. They're in the corner. They've taken each other into the corner of the bus stop, and Gamer and and Nuno will fall down. Danimator at the death takes second. Nomskar in 5th and Pamushas in 6th. They take each other into the final barrier, but truly will win the Grand Prix. That will be a monumental crash talked about right at the end between Nuno and Gamer. They looked so set for a podium, but they did fall away right at the end, and we will have a look at the results once all of our drivers finish. Kubo the last on the track and truly will win. Danimator out of nowhere takes 2nd place. Nuno takes 3rd after a collision at the final corner. Gamer will take 4th position. Nomskar in 5th. Oh my god, as if it couldn't get any more dramatic right at the end there. Pamushas in 6th, the NTH is 7th and 8th, Rito in a very disappointing 9th. Just recovered, but not enough to challenge the top drivers in this race. Hanandi in 10th place, double top 10 for LSA, but truly, for the first time in a lot of races, I believe, to my count, 75 is your race winner.
Wait.
Rozim,
I
oh
think-
my gosh, look at that. Rozim in 11th, and we've got the VEOs 12th and 13th. Andres in 14th. Urist, 15th place. Kubo, last of the runners, in 16th. Sexy Dia with his DNF falls down to 17th place. And Julo becomes the 2nd driver ever to DNF last place, but take the point for fastest lap.
Wait.
Oh, what a race. Levy, your thoughts?
I think Truly might have again renewed the record of winning the race by starting in the like very low place.
He started 10th, didn't he? Oh my god. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Right, well that's been quite a race. Hope you enjoyed that. We've got the mid-season break now, but we'll see you back around the streets of Copenhagen in just 2 weeks' time. Until then, bye-bye.